It's Madden NFL 22, and we've got a duel in the Lone Star State. It's the Panthers and the Cowboys, and it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State in the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the Dallas Cowboys. Here's the kicker, Zane Gonzalez, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from AT&T Stadium. This is Tony Pollard, and a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
Elliott running right. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Derek Brown coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
On the left side, Gallup's got it. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. It's a gain of 9, but it's also going to mean a punt here on their opening drive.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep, Alex Erickson. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. So here are the Panthers under head coach Matt Rule. They'll be led out by their 24-year-old quarterback in his 4th season from USC, a former 3rd overall pick, Sam Darnold.
And the thing with Sam Darnold is we know the skill set is there. May not be the most mobile or strongest arm quarterback in the league, but usually plays with really good poise and at his best, like a point guard in basketball, able to move around and distribute the rock.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They're going to get about 3 here out of this 1st down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd and 7, Darnold. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Faking the give, Darnold. He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the 1st down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Darnold now to throw. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Randy Gregory in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. We're scoreless after 1. Panther football to start quarter number 2. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. CeeDee Lamb deep for the Cowboys. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, 2nd quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Prescott. Able to hit his target, Lamb. 7 yards the pickup there. Working with a 2nd and 3. Here's Prescott. And he'll go right back to Lamb. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the 1st down.
First down, Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. This to Jarwin. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
So now Dak Prescott off, Greg Zuerlein on for the field goal. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this is good. He was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
After the made field goal, Zuerlein back out there now to send this one away. On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. Over the middle, complete. It's Marshall. A gain of 6 there on first.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Working with a 2nd and 4. A fake to McCaffrey. Now Darnold. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Darnold. Flushed out right, and he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Darnold from the gun. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Second and 2. Now Darnold. He's going to look deep for more. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's Darnold. He'll air this one deep for Anderson. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome, everyone, to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, time for a check of the next-gen stats from that first half for Carolina. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they too have found passing lanes to be hard to come by so far. As you see by the numbers, they'll need to figure that out in the second half.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. And Abdullah will not try to bring it out. The Panthers ready to go back to work to start the third quarter. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Starting the second half with a run by McCaffrey. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. The shotgun snap for Darnold. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covered.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Now a fair catch taken, maybe a yard or two shy of midfield. Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. Prescott now. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Draw play. Elliott. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Now Prescott. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
On 2nd down now, it's Elliott, and he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Here's Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Zerline's kick is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. Now Abdullah, the return. The Panthers about ready to take over. I tell you what, it's kind of hard to imagine. They have not scored a single point, and yet they're in this position, a touchdown drive here, and they're in the lead.
Normally, when you have 0 on your side of the ledger on the scoreboard, you're a little bit discouraged. But when they look over and see their opponents, they don't see a number that's way out there. They don't see a number they can't attain. In fact, they can get it right here on this drive and potentially take the lead.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Let's rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Here's Darnold. And this is going to be incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
The corner, Stephon Gilmore, on the stop. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Elliott going to bite off about 7 on that one. A good run on first down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 10th carry now for Elliott. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A give to Elliott. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. After the penalty, it's Elliott. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
Maybe the old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Prescott. And this is caught. Amari Cooper. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. Prescott, he goes down to a knee, and that should just about do it. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense, obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
Well, you know what they say. It's always fun to work on things if it didn't go well in your game with a victory in your pocket. And that's what they've got going forward.